Hello everyone, today is the third and final part to this mini series about the fragrances that I completely ran out of this year. So this is my perfume empties. I tend to use up quite a few perfumes. I would suggest that you go and start at video number 1 at the first part and go through in order. I do tend to go through quite a few perfumes a year because I have a rather extensive collection and it takes me several years to finish a perfume. By the time a couple of years lapse, I generally am done with the bottle. So anywhere from 10 to 15 is usually where I land in terms of empties for the year. I do tend to buy more than that. And it's not a straight replacement, of course, but I do also gift and switch up my perfumes with other people and we trade. But in the end, certain ones are ones that I'm using up, and that's what the conversation is about today. Let's start. This is a very famous little bottle, very beautiful little bottle. It's a pink rendition of Narciso Rodriguez. For her, it's the Eau de Parfum. I do have to say that the Eau de Toilette is probably better for me than the Eau de Parfum. Eau de Parfum does carry a lot of patchouli, which is a little bit difficult for my skin to process. However, this is a gorgeous rosy floral, and there is a beautiful musk base to it. The fragrance is rather spectacular. I love basically anything Narciso Rodriguez comes out with, and very rarely do I ever feel like a Narciso release is not for me. It happens, but not very frequently at all, way less frequently than with other designer brands. This guy I've owned for several years. It is the biggest 100 ml bottle. The packaging is gorgeous, as you can see, obviously. And this is a pretty massive, fairly romantic rendition of a rosy musk with a significant patchouli base, and I suspect this is going to be a classic fragrance for all times. It is refined, it's elevated, and it is something that can definitely represent the class of fragrances in general. Rosy patchouli musks, for me, that's what this represents. Again, a pretty scent. I'm not going to be repurchasing this particular one. There are others in this lineup that I love more. This is one of the original. I think they first released the Eau de Parfum and the Eau de Toilette. And Eau de Toilette suits me better, but other flankers suit me even better. So this isn't going to be something that I will be repurchasing, but it was one of the first, if not the first, Narciso fragrance or Narciso Rodriguez fragrance that I was introduced to, because it was just such a big deal. Everybody wore it. It was super popular. It still is. Probably not quite as popular as it used to be, but it was a highly raved about scent. And I do like it and I do respect and appreciate it, but I did not develop a bond and an affinity with it that would move me to purchase it again. A really affordable scent that I buy more for nostalgia. Now, this is a cologne spray, Vanilla Fields by Coty. I used to really love Vanilla Fields. Right now, I do detect a little bit too much plastic for my liking in there. If you do enjoy a very simple vanilla lightweight application and you want something very cheap, Vanilla Fields is not bad. Again, I bought it for more for nostalgia's sake, and I don't intend to probably buy it ever again. It is a nice one. If you're a vanilla fan or a very young girl, this may really suit you quite well. I don't really have much else to say about it. This guy is Taylor by Taylor Swift. It's a huge bottle and I'm finally done with it. It is an extremely interesting scent because it is yet another dupe of Burberry Woman, but more powerful, more concentrated, and I think better than Burberry Woman. It's really not frequent that I say that a celebrity scent that is trying to mimic a designer scent is better, but this has to be said for Taylor. It is. It's another dusty peach. If you saw the previous part 2, you did hear me speak about Fancy Love by Jessica Simpson, and that being a dupe for for Burberry Woman. This is probably even closer, and it's Tenacious. This is a little bit softer, so it depends on what you're looking for. It's Tenacious. It's incredibly long wearing, very, very good sillage. Staying power is very, very nice. So quality wise, Taylor Swift is another celebrity under whose name good quality perfumes get released. Jessica Simpson is one of them. Taylor Swift is one of them. Britney Spears kind of is one of them. But this is so interesting because I actually do like it more than I do the Burberry Woman. And I think it's better because it lasts just incredibly well. If you are into Burberry Woman, seriously, get yourself some Taylor by Taylor Swift. It is worth it, and very affordable, obviously, as well, which is a good perk. Because of these two, I haven't owned Burberry Woman for like 5 years now because I had those, and there's no reason to have Burberry Woman if you have either of those two. Next, we have a Guerlain here, and this is Idylle Eau de Toilette, not the Eau de Parfum. It's the Eau de Toilette. I think they've repackaged everything to be in the B bottles at this point. So this is the packaging in which it was originally released. It's very pretty. It's a floral. It's a mature floral. Beautiful regal lilies. It is a scent that is quite, I wouldn't say the scent is vintage, but is certainly for a grown-up, and very elegant. Lots of elegance, lots of opulence, calmness, stillness, and cleanliness. It's very white. It's white lilies in a transparent crystal vase. On the table and the background is some sheer white blinds. It's a bit theatrical as well, but very put together and demure in a way. Lastly, we have a fresh scent that I finally finished. I really struggled with it because I actually don't love it, but at the same time, it's a fresh citrus and neroli scent, so I'm like, it's just a fresh scent. If you want to be refreshed, this is pretty good. This is Tom Ford Neroli Portofino Aqua, and this is 100 ml. I think maybe 4 years ago, I've gone to the States. A friend of mine and myself took a drive to Vermont. We left kids at home with husbands, and we went to Vermont. It was a really great trip. We enjoyed ourselves tremendously. And I purchased a couple of fragrances during that trip. One of them I remember was Guerlain Le Petit Aube Noir Eau Fraîche, and the second one was the Tom Ford Neroli Portofino Aqua. So this one I struggled finishing because I just don't love it. This is a pretty straightforward neroli with some citruses. It's fine. I didn't feel any special fuzzy feelings to it. And I still don't, and I don't think it's very special. I wouldn't recommend you buy it because it's a little too rich for a simple neroli citrus scent. You can, in fact, find them much more affordable than that. And quality-wise, it's on par with the Aqua Allegoria lineup from Guerlain. You know, it's solid floors, a little bit lighter weight, same kind of thing. It is the Eau de Toilette, so I guess I can't fault it for not having a good staying power because the formulation is lighter. The concentration of the fragrance is lighter in Eau de Toilette than it is in Eau de Parfum or Pure Parfum. So it's a little bit tart, it's a little bit bitter, just like I like for the summer. Neroli is really what takes the cake here. It's a very, very powerful neroli fragrance. So I guess if you really like neroli fragrances and you want something like a Tom Ford bottle, go for it. It's not that bad. It's fine. I won't be buying it again, but it was a decent buy. My husband wore it a ton as well because it's totally unisex, and that bitterness really gives it a bit of a masculine edge. So this is the last part of my fragrance empties. This is what I have. This is what I finished this year. I've purchased quite a lot as well, but that's what I finished this year. Quite a few little gems. Several of them I would repurchase. Most of them I would not. Let's count them up.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
16 this year. That's pretty good. It's usually I go through about 10 to 15. So this year was an active year for fragrance use. Let's review the ones that I would recommend and repurchase potentially. So I would recommend and repurchase the Taylor Swift as a dupe for Burberry Woman. If you want something like that, but a little softer and less powerful, you might like the Fancy Love by Jessica Simpson. I would repurchase out of the Nirvanas, probably Nirvana Black Perfume Oil, probably not the Eau de Parfum, although the Eau de Parfum is really nice too. But I do in fact have sandalwood stuff already that smells sort of similar. I would repurchase Womanity because it's just beautiful. It's art to me, the composition of that particular fragrance. I would repurchase Shalimar Parfum Initial. That's probably the one that I will tangibly repurchase. Right now, the way I'm feeling right now, that's it. In reality, in the next year or two, I will probably only repurchase Womanity, and then the rest of the time, we'll see. We'll see how I feel about the rest of them. Have you tried any of the ones that I mentioned today? If so, which ones? If not, what did you finish this year in terms of your fragrances? How many do you finish a year? And what did you wear out this year? That's it for today. See you guys later. Have a wonderful day. Good luck. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your loved ones. And peace out. Bye-bye.